If you watched our first drive review video of the Tata Nexon EV Max, you're probably quite impressed, and why not? It gets a bigger battery, better range, better performance and more features as well. However, what's also more is the price, and that has put it a lot closer to this, the recently updated MG ZS EV. Now, if you're in the market for an electric SUV, these two are your top choices, and today we're going to find out which one of them is the more rounded package.
Now dimensionally, both these SUVs belong in different segments. The Nexon is a compact SUV measuring under 4 meters, while the ZS EV is a mid-size SUV that plays with Creta-sized rivals. So the ZS EV has a clear advantage, more road presence, and the overall design is more EV than the Nexon. You also get LED headlamps with DRLs as opposed to halogen units on the Nexon, larger 17-inch wheels compared to the 16-inch ones on the Tata, and overall a more new age and modern look. The Nexon on the other hand is quite familiar in terms of design. No closed off grille here, but you get a good dose of blue accents signifying its EV nature. But surprisingly, there isn't a single badge on the Nexon stating it is a Max. The only way to figure that out is by zooming onto the wheels, which get a different design and rear disc brakes. On the inside, the Nexon Max gets beige upholstery which further heightens the sense of space, but the dark interiors on the ZS are surely easier to look after. Where the ZS EV edges ahead is in terms of the overall quality. The switchgear and fit finish are slightly better in comparison to the Nexon, and it does have an air of premiumness as well. Sure, the Nexon gets important bits like ventilated front seats, but the ZS EV isn't too far behind in the features game. You get a larger touchscreen at 10.1 inches with a 360-degree parking camera, a fully digital instrument cluster that looks more modern than the one on the Nexon, a panoramic sunroof that dwarfs the standard sunroof, and a lot more as well. If backseat space is also important to you, you'd be more comfortable in the ZS EV. The raised floor in the Nexon Max results in rear passengers sitting knees up, and the shorter wheelbase means you won't be able to stretch as much as in the more spacious ZS EV. The ZS also ties with the Nexon when it comes to boot capacity, with both measuring at 350 liters and offering a 60-40 split as well. In terms of safety, the Nexon Max gets dual airbags as opposed to the 6 on the ZS EV, but the rest of the tech like ABS with EBD, ESP, hill start and descent, and TPMS are present in both. Since range is the most important bit on an EV, a back-to-back test was a no-brainer. Driving the other car was Rahul, and to keep things fair, we decided to put them both on the same cycle, which included some maddening city traffic, a bit of relaxed highway driving, and a few twisties thrown in to sample the sport mode. We also decided to swap drivers at specific intervals to negate as much driver error as possible and drive around each other for a consistent average speed as well. And so it began with me taking the wheel of the MG first.
Now, powering the ZS EV is a larger 50.3 kilowatt-hour battery pack. It is certainly larger than the Nexon Max, and what that gives you is a range of 461. That of course is MG's claim, and those claims are never to be fully trusted because real world numbers differ quite a lot. However, with the ZS, what you also get is a bit more performance because you have 33 horsepower more. This makes 176 horsepower. As a result, 0 to 100 is a slightly faster 8.5 seconds as well. So overall, it is a bit zippy around the city, slightly zippier than the Nexon Max.
The Nexon on the other hand isn't too far behind despite having a power deficit. A 0 to 100 kph time of 9.4 seconds makes it a second slower, but it is something you wouldn't really notice in day-to-day driving. Especially in the city, both cars offer similar levels of off-the-line response. As we crossed the toll, marking the end of our city drive, we made our first swap with me taking charge of the Nexon Max.
Alright, so we are out of the cumbersome city traffic, we are onto the expressway, and that means regen levels can come further down. In fact, I'm going to put it to regen 1, and I will also change the mode to normal or city mode, which is in the Nexon. I'm very tempted to put it into sport and use a bit of that grunt, but I'll just save it maybe for the twisties. The ghats are coming up ahead, and I think I'll need a sport mode then. I must also inform Rahul about my change so that he can do the same on the MG as well.
Both SUVs were shifted from Eco to City or Normal with regen adjusted as well. Having the regen levels at max and Eco mode throughout might seem tempting, but on the highways, it is important to keep the momentum, and a higher regen and Eco mode will end up slowing the car substantially. Each time you lift off, it will require you to accelerate, and thereby it will use a lot more battery. On the highway, both these EVs sit comfortably at triple-digit speeds, and stability is good too. However, the real test was the uphill guard section that is notoriously famous for depleting the battery.
Alright, time for swap number 2. We are on the highway now. I've driven the Nexon plenty. Now it's time for the ZS, and the ghats are just about to start. So let's see what happens.
As we approached the ghats, both the ZS and Nexon fared well in terms of performance, with neither of them struggling for power or torque.
Sport drive mode activated.
The sport mode results in a severe drop in range for both these SUVs. That said, performance is brisk and at times even a bit more than necessary. Handling manners are similar, with neither of the SUVs offering much in terms of thrill and dynamism, but for what it's worth, the Nexon's consistent and weighty steering offers a bit more for the driving enthusiasts.
Alright, the ghats have ended, the turns and hairpins are over. Sport mode officially has been tested, and while it is very exciting, it was very nice as well, but the range did take quite a bit of hit. Now I am at 51% battery capacity and range is 130, and you need to bear in mind that I also have to make it all the way back to Mumbai, so I think I'm going to get out of sport mode now. And since the way back is all downhill, put it in Eco and have it at level 2 range so that I get a decent amount of regen as well. And by the time I'm down, let's see what the range looks like. But for now, let's see what Rahul's range is showing him. Well, that was fun.
It was.
But it completely battered my range.
Really? What is it now?
So now it is 129 kilometers with 51% battery left.
Okay, that's not bad. I'm at 180 kilometers of range and I still have 60% of battery remaining.
Clearly this is ahead for now, but I think let's quickly check out the regen, get out of sport mode.
Done.
All the way downhill now. See you down.
Yep.
The downhill drive back helped us sample the regen as well.
Now the Nexon EV Max is so much more different compared to the ZS, especially when you're coming downhill, and most of that is related to the regen mode, because the 3 levels of regen on this are a lot more prominent than the ones on the ZS EV. Even the strongest level 3 regen mode in that is still not too strong. In this though, if I put level 3, the car literally hunkers right down.
The regen on the MG isn't too prominent, so you can have it in one level more than on the Nexon. As we made it down, both the SUVs gained back some battery, and here is the full test report card. In terms of recharging, the Max gets the option of a 7.2 kW AC fast charger and is now closer to the ZS EV's battery recharge times. Using a 50 kilowatt DC fast charger, Tata says the Nexon EV Max's battery will go from 0 to 80% in just 56 minutes. However, in the real world, its battery management system accepts charge only at around 28 to 29 kilowatt at the most. The ZS, on the other hand, accepts a higher rate of DC charging, usefully reducing the waiting time and offering better range. Both these EVs can be your daily drivers since they have enough range to push out of the urban confines and comfortably handle that occasional farmhouse trip. However, more than the range, it is the value proposition that plays a crucial role. The MG ZS EV is a no-brainer until you look at what it costs. The exclusive variant, which is the top spec, is priced at 25.8 lakh rupees, a massive 6.6 lakh rupee premium over the top spec Nexon EV Max. Sure, you get a slightly bigger car with more space on the inside and a higher range, but paying over 6 lakh rupees for roughly 80 kilometers more is a steep ask. To sum it up then, the Nexon EV Max offers the best balance of everything you would need. It gets all the useful and important features like ventilated seats, wireless charging, a sunroof, and fast charging options along with a healthy range, strong regen, and decent performance. Yes, the MG has better range, but going by the sheer value the Nexon EV Max brings to the table, it is the better buyer and hence the winner of this comparison.